Hey there, welcome to Craft Central Designs. I have for you a very pretty wood heart sign today that I created with a unique wood heart that I happened to come across on Amazon. When I saw it, I immediately had a vision for it, and I knew just what I would do with this wood heart to create a beautiful Valentine's Day sign. Let me show you what I created. Welcome to all to my channel today. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and leave me your comments and opinions regarding this pretty Valentine's Day wood heart sign. Let me show you the items that I created, used to create this piece. Look at this heart. I've never seen this before. I was doing a search on Amazon for wood crafting hearts, and this came up. And I thought, wow, that is awesome. And the minute I saw it, I knew what I was going to do. And that is, of course, if you think like I do, I'm going to take a narrow Valentine's Day ribbon and weave it through all of those holes. And it came out so pretty. Yeah, I really enjoyed this project. So I decided to do something other than scrapbook paper. So I picked up this really pretty Valentine's Day fabric at Joann's. I got it 40% off. I got a half a yard, which I don't need nearly that much. So I have some, left over for another project. I'm going to use my little scalloping scissors. Of course, I have some narrow ribbons, most of which came from Hobby Lobby. So this piece is going to be getting a bow, that pink one specifically. The primary color of this piece is pink, but there is a red involved in this piece as well. So I'm showing you this little love sign, which was a painted piece that I had purchased at a package at Hobby Lobby, but I ended up using the XOXO instead. So you'll see that later. I'm going to be using Snow White Waverly chalk paint. I have there a couple of different size wood hearts. You can use whatever hearts that you like and whatever shapes. The first thing I'm going to do is cut out a piece of fabric. And I am going to take my pencil and just go around the perimeter of that heart. Now, I'm not going to be covering up those holes, of course, but what I'm doing here is just trying to get the primary shape of that heart. Now, the heart is only about 10 inches wide, so it's not a large wood heart sign, but it still would be very suitable for a door, but also for just any space where you want to decorate a bit for Valentine's Day. It's a really cute piece, really super cute. So I'm going to cut out the general shape of my heart with just regular scissors. Now, I figured about how far I had to actually cut off some of that heart in order to accommodate keeping those holes open so that I could weave that narrow Valentine's Day ribbon through there. So I figured out that I was going to take off about 3/4 of an inch off of the entire perimeter of that heart. So in order to keep myself on track when I started using my scalloping scissors, I went around and just marked it 3/4 of an inch in. Now I'm going to take my scalloping scissors and just follow those little pencil lines that I created. And I'm going to carefully cut out that heart. So I'm basically cutting off about 3/4 of an inch. And this will allow me to place that fabric on that heart, but still leave open the holes, as you can see here. Okay, now I am going to be painting that heart, of course, but I'm just showing you here. This was the idea, was to fill the inside of the heart and leave the holes open. Now I'm going to be painting my heart on the front and back. And you're going to also need to paint the sides of the heart. Initially, I somehow, for some unknown reason, neglected to do that. So I had to go back later and paint the sides, but it was no big deal. So I'm going to go around and paint the entire heart. Now, I'm not going to worry about getting all down inside of those holes because I'm going to be weaving some narrow ribbon through there, and you wouldn't see the holes anyway because they're going to be filled with ribbon. So I'm going to use one of these hearts, and I'm going to be covering it because I want it to be not red. I don't want it to be red, and that's the way it came when I purchased the hearts. I believe I got those on Temu. But I'm going to cover up that heart with a white scrapbook paper with tiny, tiny red hearts. Then I'm going to take a little bit smaller one, which was in a package that I got at the Dollar Tree. Love the shape of that heart as well. And I'm going to cover that with a pretty pink scrapbook paper. So I thought about using that scrapbook paper, which is a very good option as well. It's white with little red hearts. That's from Hobby Lobby. Always my scrapbook papers are from Hobby Lobby. That's just a given every time. They're from there. There's the XOXO. It also came in the same package as some of the other words. I think there's hugs in there and love and things like that. But I'm going to use the XOXO. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is just squirted on my Mod Podge out of my squirt bottle. And I'm just going to go around and cover the area inside of all of those little holes. So I'm just going to put a nice layer of Mod Podge on there. And then I'm going to let that completely dry. I'm going to be using the heat method to adhere my fabric to my heart. Absolutely love this method for fabric, for napkins. Love it. Works great. I do have a little Cricut mini heat press, but you could use an iron. Okay, so now my paint is apparently dry because I put my fabric down there, but you can see I really need to paint the sides of that heart, and I will go in and do that later. I'm just seeing how my fabric is fitting on here. I did make a couple of little adjustments because I felt the left side was a little bit fuller than the right. And now I am going to place that fabric right on my heart. Now, again, I wait for that Mod Podge to dry. So I'm making sure my placement is good now. I'm going to place a piece of parchment paper on top of my heart. And then I'm going to take my mini Cricut heat press and I'm going to go around and press down that fabric. Now what I'm actually doing here is reactivating the Mod Podge. And when I tell you this method is awesome. Oh my goodness, love it. You get the smoothest, most perfect application. Now, I always make sure I go around my edges because I really want those to be well adhered. Now, we have those scalloped edges on there, so we really want to make sure that is all adhered and it is just beautiful. That fabric is so pretty. Again, I got that at Joann's. Okay, so now I'm going to do what I originally had that immediate thought that I was going to do as soon as I seen this heart. So on the back of the heart, I just put a little dab of glue to get my ribbon started so it wouldn't pull out through the holes. And now I cut a piece of ribbon I want to say 1.5 times the perimeter of that heart. And the reason why I cut extra is because when you weave it in and out, you're using ribbon. It's not lying flat on there. It's taking up your ribbon. So you do need to cut extra. So kind of just place your ribbon around the heart, get an idea what you need to surround the heart, then add about half as much on there. And that way you'll be sure to have enough. Now I don't pull mine super, super tight. I wanted to kind of have a nice little resting of that narrow ribbon as I pull it through on top. I don't want it pulled super tight, just a nice loose weave. So I'm just going in and out, in and out, in and out. That's what I'm doing. And it doesn't take long, and it's so pretty. So here it is. I used a really pretty pink heart ribbon from Hobby Lobby. When I got to the end, I just glued it down. And look at that. It's so nice. It's so pretty. I actually have a number of ideas for these hearts. They came like 6, I believe 6 in the package of hearts. I thought it was well worth the money. I'm going to do some other, ideas that I have for those hearts. So if you like them, order it on Amazon, and probably this week. Yeah, this week I might do a couple more of those because they're just so cute. It's so fun to make. All right, so kind of sticking more with the pink theme on this piece. So I'm going to do a bow. Now, I initially created a 4-loop bow, but I felt that it was too much. I ended up taking one of the loops off on each side later because I felt I don't always get it 100% perfect with my bows. Trust me, sometimes I overestimate or even underestimate. So the good thing is that you could just take it apart and remake it, But that's a 1.5-inch wired ribbon. So I ended up just doing a 2-loop bow. In the end, that's what I ended up doing. So you'll see the other 2 loops here, but just kind of, disregard that. I would say go more with, if you're using a 1.5-inch, I would just do 2 loops. Then I'm going to do some little figure 8 bows in 2 other pretty Valentine's Day ribbons, both of which are from Hobby Lobby, and both of which are in pink. So those are going to be resting on the 2-loop bow that you will see I eventually settled on for this piece. Look at these pretty ribbons. I got these at Hobby Lobby, obviously, but they were 40% off, and I think they are just so pretty. So I'm going to do a figure 8 bow, and this one is a little bit wider than the one I'm going to use on the top. So I'm kind of graduating the widths of my bows as I stack my bows to create this larger bow. Did that make sense? So I'm using the 1.5-inch ribbon on the bottom. The next widest width ribbon will be stacked on top of the 1.5-inch. And then a little bit more narrow ribbon is going to go right on top. So I'm just folding my loops under and over and under and over, like you've seen me do so many times before. I just call these figure 8 bows because that's what it looks like as a figure 8. This is just one of the types of bows that I create. Now I'm going to take some of that 26 gauge floral wire that I get at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to pull that really, really tight and gather up that ribbon right there in the center and keep those loops all collected. Now on that bow, I did 3 loops on each side because that's a more narrow ribbon. So that's going to set on as I mentioned, on that 2-loop bow that I had used the 1.5-inch ribbon. So I'm just opening up my loops here a little bit, and then I'm going to do one more, which is the same ribbon that I used to weave through the holes around the perimeter of that heart. I think that heart is so cool. I just love it. I would like it if it came a little bit bigger. But like I said, I was just searching. I can't even remember why. I was looking for some hearts of a certain size, and I just put in wood crafting hearts, and that popped up, and I said, oh, yeah, I could do something cool with that. And I think I did. I think it's very pretty. But I have other visions as well for what you could do with that piece. Okay, so there's my top little figure 8 bow that's going to go on the top of the stack. I'm going to put all 3 of those together by just stacking them one on top of another, and then taking another piece of floral wire and connecting them all together. This is a pretty quick project. Did not take a lot of time. It was very easy to do. Nothing complicated in it or complex. So I think this is a great piece for the novice crafter to just kind of get accustomed to some of the different types of techniques using fabric and ribbon and paint. Okay, I put all 3 together. Now I do have to do something to conceal that wire going down the center. So see how that bow is just a little bit too big? That's why I took out 2 of those loops. So you'll see in just a minute that I did that. But otherwise, I'm fine with the other bows. Just easy enough to just backtrack and take out those 2 loops. Now it's going to go on that piece. I'm going to be gluing it on that piece right around 7 to 8 o'clock. Now I'm going to take a little piece of that same ribbon again that I used for the top bow, and I'm just going to wrap it around the center of that bow to make a nice finish. I made sure that my heart was straight on the bow, and I also like it right in the center of the little heart. Details are important. Little details like that make a difference in a piece. So I will be trimming up those tails later. I just want to get everything all put on the piece, and then I will determine exactly what I want to do with those tails. And like I said, it's going to go right there around 7 to 8 o'clock. And yes, I do paint the sides. Oh my, you can really see it in there. But you'll see later, I think it shows that I painted them. Anyway, I did. Honestly, I did. I just took a little angle brush and went right around the sides, and it was very easy to do. Okay, so now I'm going to take my little hearts, and I am going to be placing those on the left side. And I'm going to place the XOXO on the right. Now that XOXO, the way it came in the package, it was a little bit off white. So I gave it a nice coat of Snow White Waverly chalk paint, and I got it a nice white to coordinate with the rest of the piece. Now I'm taking my Mod Podge and I am putting my scrapbook paper on those hearts. And I did that very simply by just tracing around those wood hearts and cutting out that scrapbook paper and then adhering them just to make those hearts look exactly like I wanted them to coordinate with that beautiful Valentine's Day heart fabric. I have a really nice, pretty, yummy shade of pink scrapbook paper going on that smaller heart. Now I'm going to take my Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm going to put the XOXO on there with that. When I'm putting on letters like that, I really rather use Aleene's as opposed to hot glue. Okay, I'm just doing a little cleanup here on my white heart just to get that scrapbook paper, the excess, off the edges there. And here comes the Aleene's tacky. I'm just going to go around the back of those letters. And that's going to be a very cute addition to this little Valentine's Day sign. Super cute. I'm putting it on the right side, right across the full part of the heart there. Make sure it's nice and straight. Now, I do have to create a hanger, and I'm going to use that same ribbon, the same one that I did all the weaving with, and the same one on the top of the bow. But in order to use that, or to do that, I want to be sure that the best side of the ribbon shows when I put the hanger on. So in order to do that, what I needed to do was take 2 pieces of that ribbon, use a little bit of Aleene's tacky glue, and put the wrong sides together. Make sure it's on there nice and straight. And now, when I create my hanger, you're going to see the hearts on both sides of the ribbon. And again, details. Those little things, to me, make a difference. So I'll always give you like those extra little tasks to do. And it's up to you whether you do them or not. But I'm telling you, they make a difference in the piece. Look how cute this is. That started out as just a wood heart with a lot of holes around the perimeter. And now look at it. It's absolutely adorable. Okay, so I'm going to put my hearts on now. So I just used a little bit of Aleene's, and you can watch and see how I tilt my heart. And I place it up there in the curve of the heart. Then I'm going to take my little pink one, and I'm going to tilt it another direction. Not like that, but like that. See how I tilted it? Kind of the opposite direction. Okay, now I just have to attach my hanger. Now you could use maybe a baker's twine, maybe a twisted baker's twine with pink and white. I think I have some of that in my stash. But I decided to use that narrow ribbon. I really just liked it. So I counted, what I'm doing here is I'm counting the number of holes up to the place where I think I want to place my hanger. And then I'm going to count the same number of holes on the other side. This way I have the hanger exactly even when I place my ribbon hanger on there. I painted the edges. Do you see that? I did it. Okay, so now I'm counting my holes and I'm just going to attach that ribbon hanger with hot glue. And trust me, this piece is so light, you don't need any more than that. So here I'm just still waiting for that to dry a little bit. And then I attached it. And here you have it, the finished heart. Now I just think this is adorable. If you're interested in perhaps doing this project or seeing what else I do with this heart with the holes, look on Amazon. I got my hearts in like a day. It was free shipping overnight, and I love it. Let me know what you think of this one. And until next time, you all take care.